Shinasha, Shinasha, That was a song, and it was a song of joy, of happiness, of saying, I'm going home, and I'm happy I'm going home.
It's a painful story that needs to be told.
Because this is a story that has not really been told. It's a story of the incarceration of our native peoples, of our Navajo peoples.
A long time ago, early 1860s, is when all of our ancestors have been gathered up. And then they were told to walk to Fort Sumner, New Mexico.
People have come to her home and they've been captured again. So, and she thought like, okay, I'm not gonna fight. So she just went along.
The soldiers were ordered to kill all men and take the women and children. The death march was 400 miles. They had no food, no water to take with them.
The ones who were caught were basically in New Mexico and the eastern part of Arizona. And they were taken, it was about 8,000 taken down to Fort Sumner, which is in New Mexico, and Navajo we call it Huelde, the place of suffering.
The soldiers were in horses and wagons, but the Navajo people, the moccasins were worn out, nothing to wear. Their feet were blistered and sore.
These people were not nice, she says. They were thrown people, even elderly people. She saw her mom and her grandma got crushed. They were just throwing all the people in the wagon. And even little kids, they were just being crushed. And she just walked, and she knew she lost all her family. And she just kept on walking and walked all the way.
And along the way, there was many stories of people who were just shot because they were ill. The babies would cry, they'd shoot them.
People that are trying to run off, they just have to be shot down.
The soldiers kept on pushing them and pushing them and pushing them, and they wanted to rest, but they couldn't rest. The only time they could rest was when the soldiers wanted to rest. During the march, there were some harsh winters that they went through. The kids were just in rags, no clothing, no food to eat. I mean, it was just a brutal march. I mean, these people were suffering day after day.
There was just a pile and pile of Dene people. They just put them in the wash and just put covers with dirt over them.
Kids who couldn't keep up with the group were just left there and were just usually mercifully shot and killed. Otherwise, they were just left there to be part of the carnivores' dinners, you know. So.
Even up to this day, people still say that the Dene people were not malicious people.
When the youth gets hold of the Navajo, either they rape the woman or either they rape little kids and stuff like that. Those were the ones that do the capturing for the soldiers. They help the soldier capture the Navajo after they do everything, all their business, and then they give it to the soldiers.
Kit Carson was a traitor. He betrayed the Navajo people.
Kit Carson was a bad person. The way they've been treated, yeah, they gave up. They put their white flag on, went to Fort Defiance, but still, it didn't matter. They had to walk.
There was a burnout campaign by Kit Carson in which he tried to get as many Navajos as he could. He got about 7,000 or 8,000 Navajos.
He wanted to flush out the Navajos by contaminating their water, killing their livestock, burning their crops.
Because they have fields of corn, they have fields of squash, they have orchards, they have flocks of sheep, they have cows, they have horses. These people are very well set. Kit Carson went after all this, and he burned out the hogans, he burned out the crops, he chopped down the orchards and burned them, you know, and this was the scorched earth policy he used.
The federal government was after gold, minerals, uranium. I mean, the Navajo land was rich. Kit Carson hurt a lot of people, and up to this day, some of the effects are still with our elderly people.
At one time, Kit Carson, Christopher Carson, lived among the Navajo, and he learned how the Navajo live and how they were, where their homes were, where their food stores were.
We can outrun soldiers if they're riding their horse, and we were like jackrabbits. And we just go where people can't see you. And that's how fast the Navajo used to be.
Oh, here in this valley, yes, there's some people that weren't caught. They were hiding on top of these mesas. That's the survival mesa. That's where people were hiding on top, and the soldier never found them.
So what happens like when a woman is pregnant? When our Dene people are pregnant? When a woman is about close to due time, that's when they wove, it's like a belt, maybe about that wide. When you're being chased and you're running away from your enemy, all of a sudden you go in labor. And as you're running along the desert, all you have to do is untie your belt. You see a branches or a tree right there, you see branches, just throw that thing over it, and that's how you deliver your baby.
My grandfather, he was born in 1865, either on the way to Fort Sumner or down there. And he was one of the lucky children, lucky babies that survived that incident. There was, I think, something like 15 to 20% survival rate among children that were born there or on the way there. And he was one who survived. He was born 1865. He passed away in 1962. When I remember my grandfather, my tears flow. Why do people cry when they pray? The reason why you cry when you pray is you approach the Creator the way you approached your mother. When you were born, you cried out to her and she knew you were alive. So when we approach the Creator, we cry so He knows we are alive.
In 1864, there were 25,000 Navajos. In 1868, within that 4-year span, there were only 2,000 remaining.
This is your home, this is the safe place, and it's very quiet, and this is very holy place. Even when you yell out there, there's echo. Even to that, we still have people pray to them.
My mom had taught me, you are not supposed to hate people. That is not you. You have to have a heart for it. Even though somebody is your enemy, even though they don't like you, you always have to have a heart for them. I think we were taught that too much. And that's why we don't have hate for other people or people that have hurt us, people that hurt you.